Right then, mate. My name's Harry.
Nice to meet you. Hi, my name's Adeline and I'm a student at Bexley College.
Students, naturally, you have to make up the choice that you want to study. That's very important, because if you don't have that zeal to study, you won't be able to come here and study. So at the end of the day, it's about what you want. And I know we've all got challenges, we've all got our own personal problems, but being a student, you have to put in everything to be able to gain something out of it.
What is it like being a student? I suppose it's a way of life, it's enjoyable, educational, couldn't really knock it.
It's tough being a student. I mean, people don't realise how much time they have to manage. You've got to be able to manage your social life as well as being a student as well. There's so many challenges. You've got to make sure that you're meeting your deadlines, and it really does help if you're in the right peer groups, because if you're falling behind with anything, then you can always call upon one of your friends just to give you a hand or let you know where you're going wrong. Also, just be really open and transparent with teachers. I find that helps, because if you're falling behind, they can sometimes give you some help on extending the time of your deadline if you're going through stuff at home.
Challenges I face being a student are, whereas we're getting older now, I mean I'm 17, it's more financial, because it's hard to keep a job on the side of college, especially with this course. It's very intensive. I mean that would be the main one I could point out, really.
So many. I mean, I'm a mother, so I've got to balance my personal life as well as being a student, and that's tough because it's like the day never shuts off for me. A lot of students get to go home and study. I have to balance that out with being a parent as well, so that's a bit tough. I think also because we're quite a large class, sometimes you do need that little bit of extra care, but it's difficult for the teacher to be able to spread all of their time amongst all of the students. So sometimes you've got to realise you need to be able to act autonomously and do your own work without too much close supervision.
Well, my opinion on the perception of students being lazy is it's sort of a generalisation, because I suppose within the workplace some people can be lazy, some people can be real workers, and it's the same everywhere. Well, yeah, of course I think it's unfair. I mean, I think it's very judgmental just to sort of say all students are lazy, because that's not true. I'd say over 50%, or probably more than that, maybe 75% of students aren't lazy.
Well, I guess it might seem as though we're lazy when we're kind of hoarded up in our rooms and nobody knows what we're doing and kind of isolated. They probably think we're just in there laying down sleeping, but I mean, I think there's a lot more to it. You do need to isolate yourself, but at the same time you need to make sure you're quite structured in doing your work. We get so bogged down with social networks and other things that can kind of enhance us to procrastinate and not do our work. So I think that, yeah, there is that perception, and yes, there are some truths in it, but I think it really is down to the individual. If you want to study and you're motivated to study and you're passionate about what you're studying, you'll do it. And if you're not so much and you're doing it because of peer pressure or because of family, then maybe it might be a situation that you may fall off the track. So I think you've got to understand what you're studying and why you're studying.